I'll be speaking with Shelly Altman from the Connecticut chapter of Jewish Voice for Peace.
Hi.
Hey, Shelly.
Hi, Stan.
So you combine with the Sunday Vigilers who've been doing this for decades.
Many years, yeah,
and,
at least 15 years.
To talk about Gaza. So what is the view of JVP?
Well, there's a lot of views, but let me go with my personal view first. As a Jew, I mean, the Jews suffered such a horrendous experience in the Holocaust, and growing up as a Jew, I always wondered how that could have happened. What were people saying? What were people knowing? And I never really could figure it out. And if you fast forward to where we are right now with Israel and Palestine and the bombardment of Gaza and schools and hospitals and UN facilities and civilian infrastructure, it's a horrific experience, and I find it it's impossible for a Jew, at least for this Jew, not to give my voice against what Israel is doing. It's a crime against humanity, and it needs to be stopped. And I know that people say, well, what about Hamas? What about the rockets from Hamas? When people are bound the way the Gazans are, and once on the land side by the Israeli siege, on the sea they can't fish. On the Egyptian side, they're not allowed to cross over. Their utilities are cut off. Their food supplies are minimal. The resistance is going to come up, and some of the resistance may not be what you'd like to see, but there's going to be resistance, and that's what really needs to be dealt with. You know, not the fact that Hamas happens to be firing a rocket, not the fact that Israel happens to have an Iron Dome, which by and large protects its citizenry from those rocket attacks, but it's really why are the conditions in Gaza what they are.
And just for a second, describe what went on today, how many people, that kind of thing.
We had about 50 people here. The vigil here sometimes has a substantial turnout, but more often it's like 5 or 6 people. God bless them. Today we had about 50 people, mostly from our outreach to our Jewish Voice for Peace constituency in Connecticut. And we basically try to engage people who are passing by, engage the drivers, engage the pedestrians, hand out flyers, try to do some education, have some discussion. It's a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about, and it needs to be talked about.
And just a last point, you were over there, not in Gaza, but in...
Right, well, we were actually, my wife and I were on an Interfaith Peace Builders delegation last May and June. We were mostly in the West Bank. We also visited Nazareth, Tel Aviv, and we did take a trip to the Erez crossing in Israel, the crossing from Israel into Gaza, which is pretty much closed to everybody, but we were down there, and so it's hard to witness what everyday people in the West Bank, which is mainly where we were, what their life is like with the checkpoints, with the restrictions on them, with the constant arrests for no cause, with the detentions without charge. I could go on and on, but conditions are impossible to live by. I just don't know how they do it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stan.